The NFL season is finally here, so make sure you're ready with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. It gives you the most live NFL games all in one place, exactly what you need to make your Sundays more magical. Sign up today at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
What's good, boys and girls? Welcome to Two Footed Extra, our news and gossip show. Not a whole lot to talk about today in terms of news. Mostly international focus, obviously, with it being the international break. But we'll do some of that and we'll get into the gossip then after the break. I suppose the place to start is with Cristiano Ronaldo, who scored his 900th career goal in Portugal's win over Croatia. Short-range tap-in after a really good cross. On the volley, it was a decent finish, no question about it. 900 career goals is a hell of an achievement. He scored 5 for Sporting. He scored 145 for Manchester United across his 2 spells there. 450 for Real Madrid. 101 for Juventus. 68 for Al Nassr, and now 131 for Portugal. 164 penalties. 64 free kicks from about 1,000 attempts. 573 with his right foot, 173 with his left foot, 152 headers, and 2 others that kind of just hit him and went in. 66 hat-tricks. So that's an impressive number. 479 goals in his home stadium. 361 away from home is the most impressive number there. 60 on neutral venues. The teams he scored the most against: Sevilla with 27, Atletico Madrid 25, Getafe 23, Barca 20, and Celta Vigo 20. Now, I would put a huge asterisk next to the Al Nassr goals because he's playing against plumbers and school teachers. I would put an asterisk next to most of his time at Juventus and his second spell at United because he was scoring goals and hurting the team. But there's no question that at United the first time and for Real Madrid, he was an absolute machine. He evolved from a winger into an inside forward. And quite frankly, he stopped doing anything that helped others. It all became about him and his ability to score goals and his hunt for goals. But to his credit, he just smashed goals in left, right and centre. So you do give him credit for the goal tally. But again, nobody should be celebrating it. He's hurting his teams. He has done for years. It's not a surprise Al Nassr's won nothing since he went there. It's not a surprise that the only thing Portugal have won in his international career he was off the pitch for. He made United worse. He made Juventus worse. Real got rid of him at the right time because they saw the decline coming. They saw the way he was becoming even more selfish and evolving into a 9 who, at that point, couldn't really play as a 9. He has become a 9 in recent years, and it does suit him more now. But this is all about him and his ego. And I'm not going to be the one to celebrate that. Craig Bellamy has talked about his return to the Welsh national team, where he's now the new Welsh national team head coach. And he said that the biggest pull was the opportunity to build on the legacy of his friend, the late Gary Speed. Gary Speed was a phenomenal player for Leeds, Newcastle, Everton, Premier League legend, league title winner with Leeds pre-Premier League, the last season of the old First Division. He played on the left-hand side of a midfield that had Gordon Strachan right side, McAllister and Batty in the middle, and him on the left. He was an outstanding player, great left foot, worked incredibly hard. Imagine if Jack Harrison was 15% better at everything and worked even harder than he does. That'd be Gary Speed. Maybe the best back post header of a ball I've ever seen, other than Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano's very, very special at that. But Cristiano's a couple of inches taller than Speed. Speed just had this unbelievable ability to come from nowhere, outjump a right back, and power a header back across goal. A new era begins for England as they take on the Republic of Ireland this weekend. It's also a new era for Ireland because they've got a new manager as well, whose name nobody can pronounce and nobody cares about, because the whole process of hiring him was such a farce and the whole thing was such a damn squib because he's not a name anybody wanted. Scotland's capacity for self-sabotage delivers fresh horror. What a headline. What an absolutely magnificent headline. Oh, that's tremendous. At the end of Scotland's defeat by Poland, Grant Hanley walked around in circles near the halfway line, like someone coming home from the pub with a few gallons on board. Tom English, you might be the best rider I've ever come across. A touch bewildered, a trifle unsteady on his feet. Eventually his mates reached him and took him away to his own personal purgatory, no doubt. Oh, this is magnificent. I can't wait to read this in full later. So Scotland went behind, got themselves back into the game, and then they went 2-0 down, cut back into it, and then threw it away. Tremendous stuff. Well done, Scotland. Northern Ireland needs to know what it feels like to start winning, says Michael O'Neill. Well, they got themselves a win over Luxembourg, so it is something at least to build on. Let's see. Mr. Hallgrimsson has talked about how he wants to emulate his famous victory with Iceland over England, but that England are a very different team. Well, it is 8 years later, Heimer. It is 8 years later. And since your time with Iceland, you've managed Al Arabi in Qatar, you've failed with Jamaica, and now you're managing Ireland. So, it is what it is. Aitana Bonmati is close to agreeing a new deal with Barcelona to keep her at the club, I think, until 2027, I read earlier. I missed this during the week. I didn't miss it. I saw it at the time and forgot to talk about it. But Steve Bruce, who I had on this podcast a couple of months ago, was appointed as the new manager of Blackpool in this past week. And I have to say, a genuinely nice guy. And I'm delighted for him that he's back in the game. And I hope he does well. I hope he does well. Neil Critchley, who'd gone back there after a spectacular failure at QPR, went back to where he was really good the first time. Did okay. I mean, I think he was doing okay with Blackpool this time around, but for some reason they've made the decision to sack him. Now, you could look at the table and you could say, well, is that the reason? Maybe it's because they're crap again. But we're 4 games in. We're 4 games in. They've drawn 2 and lost 2. It's not like they've been battered 4 times. It hasn't been a shambles. But the decision has been made, and Neil Critchley is now looking for a new job. Neil Critchley is a good coach, and he will find a job without question. He will find a job without question. He was doing well at Blackpool the first time. He left and went to Villa to be Gerrard's assistant. Then he left Villa, when Gerrard got sacked, went to QPR, where, funnily enough, the fella he'd replaced as Gerrard's assistant, whose name is now escaping me, Michael Beale, had gone and done okay and earned the Rangers job for himself. And Critchley then went to QPR, and largely to replace him. And it was a disaster. And now he's out of work. And funnily enough, Michael Beale is out of work as well. Yeah. And it'll be tough to see Michael Beale getting back in after what happened with Sunderland and the Twitter scandal. Someone should take both of them as coaches, though. You'd have a really good coaching staff if they were your two assistants. They're both good coaches, for sure. That's it. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the gossip. I'll see you in a sec.
This episode is brought to you by Microsoft Azure. Turn your ideas into reality with an Azure free account. Get everything you need to develop apps across cloud and hybrid environments, scale workloads, create cloud-connected mobile experiences, and so much more. Discover what you can create with popular services free for 12 months. Learn more at azure.com. That's AZURE.com. And sign up for a free account to start building in the cloud today.
Right, welcome back. So one little bit of news that I should have mentioned before the break. Stephen Bergwijn, who was the subject of a rant from Ronald Koeman, has responded by saying, it doesn't matter if you don't want to pick me for the national team, I don't want to play for you anyway, which is kind of funny. But also, it's one of them, you can't fire me, I quit, you can't dump me, I dump you type of things. Anyway, all the gossip. Mohamed Salah is keen on signing a new deal to extend his stay at Anfield. I very much hope that's true, and I very much hope it gets done. Liverpool are planning to open talks with Salah over a new contract in the near future. Do it now. Do it today. Also, sign Virgil van Dijk to one as well. Also, sign Trent Alexander-Arnold to one as well. Liverpool expect Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Alisson to all move to Saudi Arabia next summer. They definitely don't expect that to happen. And Mark Bruss, whoever you are a spoofer and, frankly, a bullshitter. Al Nassr are targeting Mateo Kovacic in the January transfer window with a pay package worth more than $750,000 a week. Casemiro will only consider offers to leave Manchester United if he's told he does not have a future at the club. Alternatively, Casemiro could be poised to leave in the next few days. Manchester United and Newcastle remain in the mix to sign Adrian Rabiot. Some of the figures going around for his wage demands are bananas. Stephen Ozate is set to have a medical with Hull City after leaving Brighton. Be a really good get for Hull, as that is a good player. Flamengo have made contact with Anthony Martial, who is a free agent. I'd love to see him go there. I really would. I'd love to see him go there. Brazilian League is fun. Liverpool and Newcastle are likely to have to pay a release clause of above his current 70 million asking price to sign Mark Way if he signs a new Crystal Palace deal. I don't believe Liverpool will sign him. Manchester United have appointed Sam Irith as performance director until the end of the season. Congrats to them for that. And Newcastle have paid £10 million to settle a long-running tax battle with Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. So, congrats to Newcastle. Money well spent. Couldn't spend in the transfer market, but you got your tax bill paid off. So isn't everybody happy? That'll soothe the fans' tempers. Best not lose any games anytime soon, or they're going to start asking when the tax bill is going to come on the left wing or the right wing or at centre-back or wherever. That's it for today, folks. I will be back on Monday. Enjoy your weekends. Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.